Black. That could be the intro.
like it.
Just me fucking coughing. Hello and welcome back to the Sellouts podcast. This would be episode something. I'm not sure yet. Either 3 or 4.
Yeah.
Who cares?
We're still yet to break the other ones into specific
It's the
episodes, but
parts.
anyway. Yeah.
We finally got through our top 25 absolute mission. But this episode's going to be a lot easier for us to do because we are ranking my favorite album of all time, Metallica. We're ranking their studio albums. We're doing good old tier list, which are always fun to do. And we are both very passionate about this band and their opinions. And I can't wait to see what albums we think are good, which are bad, and how incorrect Jordan's going to be.
Wow. some big calls already. That's a great entrance into what I think this episode is going to be. So you're right. Yeah, I mean, it's not a band where I've got some majorly hot takes of. I feel like I've got pretty similar takes to most people that enjoy Metallica. There might be some obvious trends that we will look into when we start ranking them. On the S through to D tier, I guess it is, but I've made it A, B, C, D, E. A being the best, obviously, E the worst. I've also done a customization of the tiers of what they're called, kind of themed around Metallica as a band. So I have not yet revealed to Matt what those tiers are called.
Names,
so I guess we'll just get straight into that. So that starts with me sharing my screen. So I will do that. Sorry.
Oh, sorry. I was going to say, can you move your phone closer to you? Because I'm struggling to hear you.
Okay.
Yeah. Cheers.
That should be better.
Oh, way better. Cheers.
Okay. So, the idea of this is to, I guess, fall into the same opinion, the same mindset. So we are not going to be stopping until we successfully agree yes on that tier. Matthew, can you see my screen?
Yes, and I can see Hetfield's.
Hetfield's
left.
Okay. All right. Just wait for this to not. Could be some buffering issues as well. Hopefully not.
I like the little video of Elden Ring there. For any video game enjoyers.
Oh, is that what that was?
It's Elden Ring. It's Moog's arena, and that's how you enter the DLC. Anyway, this is a music podcast.
Anyway, yes. So we are ranking every Metallica studio album, so not including, what are they? Lulu.
Damn it, the best one. Lulu, S&M 1 and 2, Garage Inc. Live Shit Binge and Purge. There's probably some other rarity stuff as well.
Yeah. No compilation or kind of EPs, nothing like that. So everything up into and including 72 seasons, which I've put in my little information of what this tier list is. I think I have made this public as well. So if people want to do it themselves with official, because I've seen a lot of Metallica ones with those albums on there, but I don't think it's fair to put those on there. Yeah. Okay. So let's get into it. So my A tier is Hetfield's Down Chugging.
Wouldn't that be
S tier. That's the top tier. I did put in there not alcohol related. Is what I put in there in brackets. But it didn't pop up. But we all know that James Hetfield is a monster rhythm guitarist.
Only downstroke.
Yeah, he's very good. He's very good at that. Dave Mustaine's contribution to Kill 'Em All is next. He was pretty heavily involved, but he wasn't entirely involved. Hence why it is not up there right at the top.
That's good.
The next is Metallica's Bass Hate. Kind of average. A lot of albums are completely anti-bass, whether it's the mixing or whether it's the inclusion of an actual bass player, like on Saint Anger. But then
Or
again,
Newstead.
or Newstead, exactly right.
Yeah.
But there are a lot of albums where the bass is very prominent early on and later on. I would argue that the bass is pretty normal, so that's why it's average. It's good. It's good and bad. There's a lot of aspects you can look at. Lars' Guitar Hero skills. So this is where it gets into below average. We've all seen the infamous shortest straw clip.
All right, anytime you are ready, sir.
In 3, 2, 1. Oh, yeah. In 3, 2, 1. Woo! In 3, 2, 1.
You and your bright ideas. This is going straight to YouTube, isn't it? Right, live feed on YouTube. He's catching on. Everybody run.
3, 2, 1.
One more time. Let me just learn it. That's so much easier. I'm a really fast learner. Trust me.
Where he struggles, and I guess he's kind of fallen into the opinion from everyone that he is not a very good drummer. It's hard to say. I think he's good, and Justice for All is almost peak metal drumming ever. I think.
Yeah,
I don't really have an opinion about his drumming, to be honest.
I do.
You do?
Shockingly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can imagine that. So I guess we'll get into that when we start talking about the specific albums. But his Guitar Hero skills specifically are below average, so that's why that falls into the D category.
Don't put above medium for him.
Yeah. No. It is above, however, the worst of the worst. Metallica's 1986 Bus Driver. Too soon? I think Matt's laugh broke the sound barrier, so it kind of muted, which is good. Yeah. No more to be said about that. He did not do a very good job. Kind of changed the entire future of this band. So that's the worst of the worst. I'm sure there will be some albums that fall into that category. So let's see what those albums are, shall we? Okay. I think I've broken Matt. I think I've broken Matt. Yeah, I was really excited to share that with you.
Fantastic! I love it.
Beautiful.
Shit.
I do apologize for anyone that is offended by that, but it's all in good humor, and not supposed to be taken too seriously.
Oh, that's awesome.
So I have put the albums. I have put the albums into chronological order from earliest to latest for our convenience. So I guess we'll just get straight into it. Metallica,
Absolutely.
Kill 'Em All.
Yeah.
What do you reckon? I actually, yeah, go on.
I was gonna say fantastic debut album. Every single song. Yeah, I'm happy to say every single song is obviously like an absolute Metallica classic. You got what's that? Whiplash, Four Horsemen, Hit the Lights. Seek and Destroy to this day is like still on their set list.
Yep.
Whiplash being my personal favorite. I mean, for me, it obviously makes the most sense to put this in Dave Mustaine's contribution to Kill 'Em All. I'm happy to put this in the A for me.
Right. Okay. I would argue that it is in B tier, Metallica's base hate. Sorry, C tier. I think it is an average album, according to in the realm of Metallica. It's got some classics in there. Yes, it's got some fundamental Metallica songs, but my argument is it sounds too raw, and it's hard to hold. It's hard not to hold it again. Sorry, I don't want to hold that against it because it is an old album, 81.
3.
83. Okay. Yeah, it's for my liking. I don't consider this one of my favorites. I do agree that it is a great debut because it gets into their kind of realm of thrash. I don't know. I'm willing to go to A tier, on the grounds of the individual songs.
Yeah. I do agree. The production is it is very raw.
It is raw. Yeah.
Very, very raw. So I do get that. But
I actually don't like James's voice either in it. It is because he's really young.
He does sound like he's 12.
Yeah. I don't know. If there was one in between this, I would very happily put it in there. You know what? I'm feeling generous. I will budge because looking through the set list now,
yeah,
there's some classics in there.
Yeah. I'm more thinking about the songs, but I do agree with the production. The production is a good argument because I will say that about a couple albums as well.
Yeah,
the production.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I don't know. It's just it's not an album that I get excited to put on at all. Like if I do a Metallica listen through like I did before this, I wasn't thrilled to listen to it. But I will meet in the middle and put it in I guess B tier. That's fine. I will allow that. And it's fitting with the name as well. So
the name as well,
entertaining. Yeah.
Hell yeah. Alrighty. Ride the Lightning.
Ride the Lightning.
I mean, you know where I'm going to put this, considering I won't spoil, but it was very high up on my list.
Yes, it was.
I'm obviously going to say Hetfield's Down Chugging. Every single song, except for, as I talked about in the list, all except for one, which is Escape. To me, iconic Metallica songs.
Yeah.
You got, For Whom the Bell Tolls, Ride the Lightning, Fight Fire with Fire, Creeping Death, Call of Cthulhu, even Trapped Under Ice is fantastic. Fade to Black, every 7 out of the 8 are iconic Metallica songs.
Yeah.
And half of those songs are still on their set list today. I will give it as well. As much as I love the album, you could even argue the production on it is a bit raw. It's a better, but still on the raw side of things.
Yeah, as far as production goes, I think it is a glorified Kill 'Em All. I think.
Yeah,
they put slightly more effort into it.
Yeah.
It sounds a bit muddy. It does sound muddy. Ride the Lightning is actually my hot take album of Metallica.
No.
Yeah, I mean, I do this. It is an album that is very popular amongst Metallica fans. So I will give it that, and I will agree with you for the fact that I don't want to be hated. Just me personally, I don't rank the two albums as high as other people do.
That's fair.
But that's just me. I do recognize the killer songs on both. Especially Ride the Lightning. That's starting to get into your actual core set list songs that they play live.
Imagine going to a Metallica concert and they don't play Fade to Black, Creeping Death, or For Whom the Bell Tolls. You'd want a refund.
You'd be pretty upset. Yeah. Call of Cthulhu as well. It's a song that I actually don't know very well. It's it's a classic song. but I've never actually. It's never been one that I recognize. I've listened to it more and more over the years. It is starting to become that song for me, but yeah, underrated. I think I will give it that. It's a song that I haven't really. It hasn't clicked until recently.
Look, Tulu reminds me of Return of the King, 'cause it ends like 20 times.
Yeah. But exactly, fans love it, don't they?
Yeah.
You just want to hear more because it is
Yeah.
it's an album that I would assume that you don't want to end. So
No. Yeah.
um
I just want never ending Ride the Lightning.
yeah.
Yeah.
Um based on fame, I will put it in down chugging. I would put both of these albums down a tier just to tell my story, I guess. I would put these both down one tier. But I am happy to leave it there.
Okay.
I will recognize that you are the Metallica fan amongst us, the Metallica fan.
Yeah.
So I'm more than happy to leave it.
Yeah.
I will be offended if this next album is not in the spot where I want it to be, though.
Metallica's 86 Bus Driver.
Maybe we do put it in that tier because if it wasn't for this
About
album,
86. Yeah.
Cliff would still be alive if they never released this album. So no, I think we know where this goes.
Yeah.
Would you
I
agree?
was gonna say if it's any lower than down chugging, yeah.
I think it deserves to be in its own tier.
Yeah.
Personally,
It's
um,
it's the perfect Metallica album.
well, let's at least
My-
put it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree. I agree. It's their best. Not everyone's favorite, but I don't think you can argue that it is their
Yeah.
best.
Yeah. Just every lyric,
Yeah.
every riff, the production on it is perfect. Like you listen to
Yes.
this and you can't believe it came out in the mid 80s. If
Yeah.
to this day, it still sounds like it could have come out today. It's
Yeah,
insane, the
Yeah.
production on this album. Like to hear how raw the first two are to this, it's like what the it's like a different band.
It's peak.
Yeah.
It's peak metal production. I think the guitars, mate. The guitar sounds are enormous.
Crisp.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've spoken about this album before, but it is amazing from start to
Yeah.
finish. I don't actually know what the weak point is. Maybe the thing that should not be, I guess.
What?
But
What?
exactly. It is still up there.
I probably would have said Leper Messiah.
Oh, you reckon?
That's
I love-
probably my. I still love Leper Messiah. Don't get me wrong, but if I had to pick like the weakest,
Right.
heavy quotations on weakest.
I don't know. I love the chorus of that song.
Disposable Hero. Yeah, it's catchy as hell.
Yeah.
But like I don't know, I just don't feel like it hits as hard as the. I don't know. For me personally, like I still love it. Don't get me wrong.
Fair enough.
And Disposable Heroes is such an underrated song. Oh my god.
Yeah, it's up there with one of the best metal songs ever. I think.
Yeah, and it's so underrated.
I think it could. I think it would be. This is tough for me to say, being my favorite album on that song on favorite song on that album. I feel like it could be a couple minutes shorter, and it would still be as good. I feel like they could get away with not playing a third verse after the breakdown in the middle.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to hold that against it. That just means more of that album. So
More,
that's
exactly.
perfect.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Injustice.
Speaking of prime Metallica,
Injustice.
yeah.
For
I would put it in the same tier. What about you?
Down chugging.
Yes, I'd put it there.
For the songs, yes. For the production,
Ah.
I'd go Dave Mustaine just because it the great meme of "There's no bass."
Yeah.
But
Do we? Are we gonna hold that against it? Are we?
well, I was just about to say you've been jealous for the other two. I won't fight if you put it in down chugging. Because if we're talking about the
Okay.
songs like we have with the other ones, I agree. But production,
Okay.
I would knock it down to songs. It's just like, well, a whole band member's not even on the album.
Oh, they did do
Yeah.
right the production of the instruments that are there. I think it's peak James's voice. The drums are peak. I know you've got opinions of the
This
drums
I
later
would say
albums.
I would say this is the best Lars has ever drummed.
Yeah, definitely,
Easily. The double
definitely.
kicks on this album are just mental. My love,
Dies Eve.
I love Dies Eve.
My dad,
So
I'm
so
pretty
good.
sure he's got. I could be majorly wrong, but I think he had a story like of people actually back in the day thinking that it was a drum machine. Like they genuinely thought that they cheated and had some kind of robot playing it or something back in the.
Robot.
Um,
I
I don't
think
know.
it was just a lot of. I think it was just a
He
lot of cocaine. I think.
yeah, and anger probably towards
Yeah,
Jason.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Jason and
Um.
Cliff and all that. Yeah, this is definitely a grieving album because thanks
Oh
to Metallica's '86 bus driver. Yeah, we lost Cliff Burton.
yeah.
So those who don't know what that reference is, Cliff, they were in a, was it in Sweden? They were in a bus accident, and Cliff Burton, who's the bass player, passed away in the accident, and then they replaced him with Jason Newsted. And this is the first album he was on. Well, was on. There is no
It
bass
wasn't
on this
just that
album.
though. It was actual negligence from the bus driver. I think I'm pretty sure he ignored the road work, like the road conditions,
Yeah,
and
and he
went
was
anyway.
drunk as well.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's the
so
big one. Yeah. Um. But I mean, yeah. If you
I,
if you want it to be if you want
I,
it to be really
I,
nice,
no, I'm happy to put it in down chucking.
okay.
I'm cool with that. Yeah, because
I
like you say, we're talking the song like because you consider the songs over the production, so I feel I should do the same.
okay.
Yeah,
Um. Even though all of the songs are quite long, I feel like every single song on this album could be a couple minutes shorter, just like Disposable Hero.
yeah,
Um,
yeah,
but it's passionate, and I
yeah,
just think it's really cool.
yeah.
How do you feel about me doing this?
Oh man, I don't know. I get it, but I don't
You know
know.
what? I won't. I think we'll call it even at that. I think we'll call it
Mm,
even. I know that mine are more hot, controversial
yeah,
takes than yours.
because
So
your is it still is Justice still your favorite one?
no, Master of Puppets, man. Yeah,
I was going to Master
Puppets.
Puppets. Oh, I think you said that
Yeah,
in your bloody list.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Um, I'm
Uh,
happy to leave that and then call it even. So going into these ones with complete um passion and aggression, I guess, with what we want to talk about.
yeah.
Um,
Black album, big one,
Black Album,
best selling,
controversial album. This one,
best selling metal album of all time. I would say this is James's best vocals. I would say,
I agree. I jumped the gun saying that it
yeah.
was Justice. Yeah, you're right.
His vocals in this are mental. He blew his voice out during the process of the recordings as well.
Did he?
Yeah, he
All
had to, and
right.
then that's when he started doing actual vocal training
Oh, jeez. Okay.
because his vocal training would have just been beers. Good old alcoholica. So
Alcoholic. Well, that's originally what my what Hetfield's down chugging was supposed to be about. But then I thought, you know what, I might go less against his actual problem and go towards something he's actually good at, even though he's good at that too.
well, I was gonna say he's good at
Um,
drinking.
um, don't you have a soft spot for the snare on this album? Is it the snare?
Oh, the drum sound is
The drum sound?
I mean,
Yeah.
just the like a song like "Sad but True." It's like a gun.
Yeah.
It genuinely sounds
Yeah.
like a fucking machine gun's going off. I would kill to have any like my stereo recording sound like this bloody snare.
Mm.
I would controversially, I'd probably would say this is probably the best sounding album production wise, which is hard to say. 'Cause I also
Yeah.
love. It's between this and Master of Puppets for best production.
I know what you mean. I know what you mean.
Yeah,
Um, what about the songs though?
I mean,
I am a big fan of Wherever I May Roam. I think that's my
yeah,
favorite song on the album.
I think mine's A Wolf and Man. Weirdly enough,
Yeah, that's underrated, that one.
and My Friend of Misery as well. I actually really like. Good contribution
Mm.
from Mr. Newstead.
I do consider this though the start of the decline.
That's fair.
That's the obvious thing for me.
Look at the next 3 albums. So that's fair.
I think Old Maid Bus Driver might be getting some recognition later on down the track, but we shall save that for then.
Yeah.
How do you feel about this? How do you feel about this? There's good and bad. It's
between that and Dave Mustaine's contribution. Between
Okay.
there and there.
okay.
It's because like this is such a weird album. This is like the weirdest album for them because it's like it's
Yeah.
the best-selling metal album of all time,
But it's not metal though. That's the thing.
It's more
It's
rock,
metal.
yeah, hard rock.
It's dad
The
rock.
only-
It's the stuff you'd bloody hear on Saturday afternoon after footy
Yeah.
or something.
Yeah, and it's also like oh yeah, I know Metallica, and they put on Enter Sandman, nothing else matters. It's like, okay,
Yeah.
yeah,
We all know people like that too.
yeah.
Yeah, I feel like I as far as Metallica goes, I think it is not comparable with the rest, personally.
Yeah. Like I think I feel like I've said this to you before. Of every single time I've listened to this album, and when I finish it, my first thought always is, "This is the best-selling metal album." Really, like
Yeah. And this is the follow-up to And Justice for All.
Injustice. Well, the reason
Yeah.
why, because they said that the songs for Injustice were so long, and they would say like when they're playing the songs live, like they could see like the boredom on their faces. So for this one, they've gone, okay, let's shorten the songs and simplify the songs, and then we got the Black Album. So
I just don't think they did it
This
in the right way. It's
No,
disappointing in a
yeah.
way, because if you were, I can imagine being around in 1991 going, oh, Metallica, yes, I loved the last 2 albums, they were awesome.
yeah,
And then you're
yeah.
hearing and Enter Sandman, like, I mean, it's there's a lot of metal aspects, but it's not thrash. Metallica are
No.
a thrash metal band, and
Yeah.
they are defined by that, in my opinion. I think this album is the start of the downfall, and I don't think
Yeah.
it deserves to be in the realm of the others. At least Kill 'Em All is thrash. That is complete thrash. No question about it.
You know what? You've convinced me. Yeah, I'll put it in bass.
There we
Hey.
go. Bass
Even
eight,
though the
okay.
bass on this album actually sounds really, really good.
Arguably the best.
Yeah, be up there.
Yeah.
Good old Mr. Newstead.
Good on Mr. Newstead. The best performer of all the bass players.
Dude, his backing vocals are my favorite.
Yeah.
Have you seen the
Yeah.
clip of them? I think it's on the tour for this album. They're doing like Creeping Death, and they're doing the die section, and Newstead's dies are that loud. It's actually louder than the main vocals for James. You just got
Wow.
like James in that kind of die, and then you got Jason Newstead going, die. It's just so passionate. Die, motherfucker.
So much-
It's
so much-
so good.
He's probably singing to James.
No, he's just
I wouldn't be
been the
surprised.
86. He's just been the 86 bus driver to Cliff.
Speaking of 86 bus driver,
Hot take. I don't think Load is as bad as people say. It's not great, but I have a weird soft spot for this album.
Why?
I think I've talked to you about this before. Look at the run of 4 to 7, like Until It Sleeps, King Nothing, Hero of the Day, Bleeding Me. Those four that I genuinely think they're good tunes, and I genuinely love the Outlaw Torn, the closing song. Like there's genuinely some good songs on here. Mama Said as well, I like. Obviously, you got song like Ronnie or Cure, which is just what the fuck is that?
Mm.
But I I would put this in Lars's Guitar Hero skills, but I don't think it's as out of the next three. I would say it's the least worst,
Okay.
in my opinion.
Okay. Um, who would have thought? I disagree.
That's
I've
fair.
tried. I've given it a go. I'm not one
Yeah.
of those people that hate Load or Reload without actually listening to them. I've listened to both of them enough. Actually, I've at least 5 times each. I think that is enough to at least have a fair estimate of an album.
Yeah.
I can't get into them. I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
I think it's because the first song is "Ain't My Bitch." What
It's
kind
such
of
a
album
weird
cut is
song.
that?
It's
Like
such a weird opener.
it's
It's such a
and
weird song as well.
that just kicks off this like 90s era of Metallica that's so weird. And
Yeah.
what
I
what
swear
what,
the
what were they doing? It's basic. It's so basic. Like go back 10 years.
yeah. It's
Why?
it's a I've heard many people say, and I do agree, if they just got the best songs off of Load, because they're both just too overblown. If they got like the best songs from Load, the best songs from Reload, it would have been like a half decent. It would have been like basically like a black, not want to say Black Album 2, but
I know what you mean.
like a
Yeah.
Black Album 2 Evolution. It
Yeah,
would have been like
it's
half
yeah.
decent,
Yeah.
but it's just they had too many ideas and they just decided to use all of them rather than filtering out the fat,
Yeah.
So,
And there is a lot of fat in this album
oh,
personally.
yeah,
I don't know. I've as I said, I've listened to these albums, but I actually can't remember what the individual songs are.
yeah,
That's on me for not knowing them enough. But
no,
nothing jumps out to me. I can't see
yeah,
anything that. But you are a Metallica super fan. You have you've listened to it. My question for you is, are you going into it with a biased mindset about this album, or are you actually
it's me being biased about the band. I
like
wouldn't say being biased about the
yes,
album.
biased about the band? Yes,
Yeah,
you are.
I mean, I'd say I'm being biased about the band, but I
Right.
wouldn't say being
Okay.
biased about the album. Because I was being biased
Yeah.
about the album, but I'd be like, oh, it deserves to be downchugging. They're
Imagine.
flawless, bro. Not a bad album.
um, I don't know. I I do remember you saying that Load is better than Reload. I've always remembered you've had that opinion.
Yeah,
Um, I'm just thinking of. I'm kind of cheating. I'm thinking about what's to come, and I think I would. There is stuff that I would rather listen to before this, personally. Um, but I'm one of two people in this conversation, so
yeah,
my opinion is in half.
yeah. My question I would pose to you, out of
Yep,
the Load, Reload, Set Anger, if you had to listen to one, which one would you pick?
it is a spoiler, but Saint Anger definitely.
Oh, fuck. Okay.
Yes,
You know,
we will.
I
We'll get onto
kind of
that.
get that as well. Actually, I weirdly get that.
We'll uh we'll get on to Saint Anger though, because I do have some hot takes after re-listening.
Yeah,
But nothing too surprising. Um,
yeah. I'm still sticking with Guitar Hero skills.
okay,
If you
okay,
really want to put it in Bus Driver, I won't stop you. But I just, yeah, I don't think it's as bad as people say, in my opinion. Like it's got some value. Don't worry, when Reload comes up, I'm bringing the guns. Don't worry, I'm bringing the guns to this next album.
I bought the guns. Yeah, I I'm
Fuck Reload. I'm sorry.
maybe I bought the guns too early. As I said, you have listened to this more than me, so you've
Yeah.
got more of an opinion. I'm going to judge I'm going to trust your opinion.
Okay.
I'm going to put it in that. I despise this era of Metallica. I think it's
I know,
absolute
don't blame you.
absolute trash.
Just
but
just like his Guitar Hero skills. It's a fucking mess, but he got there in the end.
he got there in the end. Yeah, and you did say that there are some redeemable values from
Yeah.
this album that
I know that. Yeah.
I disagree
Like,
with, but you seem to think that there are some.
no.
Um,
Like there's
let's
about there's 5 or 6 songs on there. Like I genuinely think it's the least worth listening to. The
okay.
rest of them, like, don't worry about it. Yeah.
Well, it goes back to my thing of Metallica are supposed to be a metal band, aren't they?
True.
And what is this? They love their bloody dad rock.
Yeah. Righty.
Reload.
Reload. Oh yeah, fuck this album. It's by far the worst album.
I won't disagree.
Fuck this album. It only has 2 good songs. I'll give Unforgiven 2 and Fuel. Rest of this album, yeah.
What's that? What's that out? The song that really caught my attention was it's like a synth. It's got like a voice changer or something on it. Can you remember the song that is? James has like a voice changer or like some kind of synthesizer on his voice.
Oh god.
And I was really caught off guard when I listened to it again. I'm like, come on. I forgot that.
I've only no. I'd rather no, I'm not going to bother going through it.
Don't worry about it.
I actually I'll half give. I prefer Memory Remains live. The studio version. I don't know why they have Marianne Faithfull sound like she's drowning. Like, just like, what the fuck? Like,
yeah. Just really obnoxious choruses as well. From memory, like choruses that just sound like absolute shit.
Yeah.
And actually, something. Speaking of shit, we haven't actually covered the album cover for this and its predecessor.
Do we? Well, there's a reason why the album's called Load. I'll leave it to the audience. I'll leave it for the audience to Google.
Yeah. Good idea.
Yeah.
Who volunteered for that?
It's not any. So I used to think it was like one of the members, but apparently I can't remember the name of the artist, and I don't really care enough. There was an artist at the time, I think Lars liked, and it's him.
Yeah. It's him in the most human form.
Yeah. So it's not any of the members, it's him for both of them. Right. Don't know why.
They took a wild leap. I'd rather not talk about this album. It makes me angry.
It's just It's speaking of angry, Saint Anger.
Saint Anger. Okay. Nice.
The
nice
most
transition there. That was good.
The most memed on, most shat on album probably ever. But as I mentioned, imagine you're going to say not as bad as I think people give it out to.
I agree.
Yeah. Like,
I agree.
Yeah, it's fucking terrible. But and same with Load. There's a few songs on here I genuinely like. It's an absolute mess of an album. And if you watch the Some Kind of Monster documentary, you absolutely understand why. It's just the relations between the members just just
Yeah.
everywhere. And Jason left. We got the legendary Lars. He left the fucking band.
For Bob Rock to take over.
Bob Rock. God. Jesus.
Good old Bobby.
Yeah.
Bobby R. Yeah, I agree. It's I don't know why they released it. Considering the current state of the band.
Yeah.
I feel like it was a swing and a miss, definitely. I know that
absolutely.
a lot of Gen X's like Saint Anger. I was talking to my dad one time, and I think he doesn't actually mind Saint Anger at all. So I think it is a generational thing, possibly. The songs are fine. The production is the obvious thing with this album.
Just
The drums,
the guitar,
obviously.
the good old tin can or keg.
Yeah.
Name anything metal, like metal. It just sounds like it's being smacked. I
Yeah,
swear
exactly.
that snare is probably the most memed thing in metal history. I swear.
Yeah, I would
Next to
agree.
probably like Dave Mustaine's voice,
Yeah.
or singing voice, I should say.
I don't know I don't know what I'd rather be known for, to be honest. Probably Dave's voice.
Yeah.
Um,
I
but yeah,
genuinely like Sweet Amber.
yeah,
Yeah.
seem to remember you liking that song.
Yeah.
A few of the songs are swings and misses. I
Yeah.
can't remember exactly which ones they are exactly. I was looking at the set list now. I like Dirty Window. Dirty Window is a underrated riff.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
That is a good riff, actually.
Yeah, I think we've said this in the past. I think if Saint Anger had the production value of something else, it would be
Better,
good.
yeah.
Yeah, it'd be good.
I've actually I can't remember what it's called on YouTube, but someone basically remixed the album, and it was like, wow, like it was actually like pretty decent, like listen, like I actually enjoyed listening to it.
Oh, okay. That's
Um,
something to look at then.
it felt weird, ironically, without the metal snare. It actually felt like I don't know, it just felt like uncanny or something. I was just like, oh, it just felt weird because
Maybe,
you're so used to hearing it that them actually having a
maybe
good snare.
maybe their songs just
Yeah,
weren't built for real sounding instruments.
yeah,
Um,
yeah,
I don't know. It's but I feel like we do have to hold the production against it this time because they made
yeah,
these choices on purpose, didn't they?
yeah.
So
I'm pretty sure the intention was if Metallica was like a garage rock band, which is like, well, you're a thrash metal band,
yeah,
so
I mean, there'd be better ways to imagine that. Like just
yeah,
release a single or something.
yeah,
You don't have to continue the downfall of your band by releasing this.
no, yeah.
I don't know. I think it is I think we still have to be pretty mean. I think it is Guitar Hero skills.
That's exactly where I was
Um,
going to put it, and I was going to say I'd actually put it probably above Load, actually.
yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
It is really fun to mean this album though and call it trash. Which it is. It's not not a good album.
No,
It's certainly one that I don't get excited for. But
no.
I get more excited than other things. So
Yeah.
I will happily leave it there.
No.
Um
Death Magnetic, the basically rebirth the band. Them
yes,
finally, after like nearly 15 years of just utter crap, they finally got their shit together.
they flicked a switch and I'm really glad
Yeah.
they did. Um Death
This
Magnetic
album,
does not sorry, go.
I was just gonna say, this album fucking rips.
Yes, it does.
Absolutely rips. It's so good.
It also rips open eardrums too. The production value is monstrously loud. Yeah.
Loud.
I'm not against that though. I don't think that's a problem. It is a problem if if you're in the car or something. You do have to actually turn the volume down. for the majority for the song, and then turn it back up for the next. If you're on shuffle and a Death Magnetic song comes on, you definitely have to
Yeah,
temporarily adjust the
turn it
volume.
down. Yeah, it's
Um,
an album. I think it's good listening in the car, but if you're wearing headphones or earphones, good luck. You're gonna have some bloody tinnitus
yeah,
for a good hour afterwards.
I feel like my hearing changed in high school because I would listen to this on the bus, um, to and from school.
Yeah,
I love this album. It is thrash. It is a thrash metal album.
yeah.
For some reason, I've been involved with a few Metallica, I don't know, groups or whatever else. This album is not recognized as one of their best, and I think they're majorly wrong.
Absolutely.
People ignore it. They say, "Oh, they haven't released anything good since Master of Puppets." I'm like, that is incorrect. Um,
Jesus.
those are that I think they're people that are just obsessed with the '80s kind of sounding
Yeah,
metal. But this does sound like '80s metal.
yeah.
Except for their production value is not anything close to what anything in the '80s would have sounded like.
No,
But I think the
it's too
songs are
loud.
structured. Yeah, it's way too
Oh,
loud.
absolutely. The songs are
Yeah,
so good.
the songs are structured in a really good way. Um,
Yeah,
it's got the real aggressive ending of My Apocalypse, which I loved back in the
yeah.
day. Um, and it's got Suicide and Redemption, which is my favorite of their instrumentals, which is my hot
Really?
take. Yep, yep.
Whoa.
Um,
Over Orion?
oh, Orion, second favorite. It is now my second favorite. Orion is still my favorite. Yeah.
Gonna
Um,
say.
uh, I've listened to Suicide and Redemption more though. I think it was recent. I think it was the bias of it being the most recent album that I over listened to it a lot in high
Yeah,
school. Um, it could be why I love this album so much. I think I like this album more than you. I think that's always been the case. I've
probably.
just,
I do love this album, but yeah, I would agree with
yeah,
that.
you've always had respect for it.
Yeah.
I'm also not saying that to get a one up for the tier list or anything.
No.
I've over listened this album,
Yeah.
and I've just got strong feelings about it being up there with the best.
Yeah.
I will put it in Dave Mustaine tier though. I don't think
Oh,
it's
absolutely.
I don't think it's up there with
Yeah.
the best of the best,
No.
but it is
But
definitely
very
yeah,
solid.
yeah.
I have a very soft spot for this album as well, because when I first got into Metallica, this was actually of all the albums, this was actually the first one I listened to.
There we go.
Don't know why. And it was actually
Yeah.
the very first album ever I bought on iTunes.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Nice start. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. To this day, I don't know why. I think it was just I had someone at school, because someone at school showed it to me, and they showed me Cyanide. And I was just like, "Whoa,
Oh,
this
yeah.
song's
Nice.
so cool!" And I think
Yeah.
I bought just Cyanide, and then I think after that I was like, "I want to listen to all of it," and then I bought the album. I'm very glad I did. But
Yeah.
yeah, this
I'm glad you
album's
did too.
so good. Um, All Nightmare Long is an absolute stamina workout on the drums. I love it.
Non-stop. Non-stop.
And I know we used to jam a little bit. End of the Line.
Yeah, that was fun.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a fun
Yep.
song. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
great album.
Robert made a good debut on this album.
Yeah,
He's showcased a bit, which is good. Um, I I don't like it personally. I don't like when metal bass players don't play on 4-string basses. But
that's fair.
that's because I'm more of a metal purist, like more into thrash and kind of, I don't know, speed metal, which is not really they don't explore outside of the normal realms of instrumentation.
Yeah,
But I think it kind of suits the really deep driving bass kind of suits this album, I think. I think it does wonders. Yeah, as we've said, just a really strong rebirth. This was the this was the start of the upslope.
Yeah, it
And
was a
I'm glad they did it
very much needed album for the band.
majorly, majorly.
Hell yeah.
Okay.
Alrighty, Hardwired. This is
Yeah,
a unusual album.
yeah,
I do really
that's my
like it,
wording
but
too.
it's so weird. So this is like a double album.
Mm,
The first half is like near like modern Metallica perfection.
I know what you mean.
The
Yep,
first
yep.
the first six is just like I wouldn't change anything they did. It's so good. Then the second half, it kind of got, for lack of a better way of describing, I guess, experimental
Yeah,
quotations around experimental. It's nothing that crazy, but it's just like it's a different side of Metallica, which I'm glad they experimented with. But part of me is also like, I think a couple of songs could have been on the chopping
mm,
floor.
yeah,
Um,
yep,
I think I've said this to you a few times, but like a song like Murder One. So this came out 2016, just shortly after Lemmy of Murder had passed away. And Murder One's a tribute to, oh, it's meant to be a tribute to Lemmy. And I just think it's the biggest missed opportunity because it sounds nothing like a Murderhead song. Obviously,
yeah,
there's lyrics referencing songs, but I just don't understand. All you had to do was have a 2.5 to 3 minute Murderhead esque, just have like a dirty bass, Lars whipping out his double kicks, and just have like a 2.5 3 minute just balls to the walls, just in your face intensity, and that would have been like a way better tribute to him. But it's just this weird like meandering song that just goes on and on and on, and he's just referencing all these different Motorhead songs and lyrics. I'm just like if I was Lemmy, I would have been like, this is your tribute to me. Like, I would have been disappointed, bro. Honestly,
I'm
like, what the
s-
fuck is this?
I am so glad you brought that up.
Yeah.
100% agree. Yeah,
It's just
Dad,
like
Dad actually gets angry when I mention this song.
Murder One.
Yeah,
As he
um,
should.
yeah, because he's like you. He's a Motorhead enthusiast.
Of course, yeah.
Um,
And I
so
don't
yeah,
blame him.
I agree. It was a missed opportunity.
I just does my head in. But
And
saying that,
I
sorry.
no, I was just going to say, like, I agree with the whole second. I'm looking at the set list now, and
Yeah.
the second half is like even like I don't know, a few of the songs on this album are just boring. I think
Yeah.
I think that's the word to use. There's nothing really.
Yeah. Here
It's
Comes Revenge is bland as fuck.
yeah. I remember being
Yeah.
turned off by the music video of that
Yeah.
song, and then for some reason I just can never get past that.
Yeah.
Um, Spit Out the Bone, though, I know that you are very
Oh.
fond of.
It's genuinely like
Um,
probably the best song they've written since like Injustice. Honestly.
wow. Wow. Okay. Okay.
I think it's phenomenal.
Okay. That's an opinion.
Yeah.
But I do agree. It's a great song. It's fun
Yeah.
to play on bass. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was a bit misled. I remember it must have been you, or I just was right place, right time. You must have sent me. Was it Hardwired? Hardwired was the first song to come
That
out.
was the first single that came out, yeah.
Yeah. I remember listening to that and going, here we go. This is going to be Death Magnetic 2.0. It sounded exactly
Yeah.
like something off Death Magnetic.
Yeah.
And Moth into Flame is kind of there.
As well, yeah.
It's a bit more laid back to what Death Magnetic is, but I think we were all a bit misled when Hardwired came out. I think it was going to be that
Absolutely.
kind of energy the entire album, and it wasn't.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I think it's got good and bad, which draws me to um, Metallica's base hate
Hate.
tier.
Yeah. I agree.
You agree?
I would agree.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
I would.
If The
Yeah.
second half was stronger. I would have pushed more for contribution, but the second half really drags it down.
Mm.
If they honestly had just kept the first six and then probably put like am I if they had like the classic have I've said many times of every great thrash metal album has 8 songs. If they just kept the first six and Am I Savage and Spit Out the Bone, easy A. Just the other songs are just I like some like Mankind and even Confusion. I don't mind, but Here Comes
They're
Revenge and
fine.
Murder One.
Yeah.
Those two are just like what? Like you're just baffled.
Yeah.
You're just like
I agree.
how
I
how
agree.
how, how do you think this is worthwhile putting on an album?
There's just nothing really stand out.
Yeah,
The entire thing. Um,
yeah. I really like the sort of the back end of Am I Savage. It's got this really heavy, chuggy riff, and Kurt comes in with this great solo as well. I love that section of the song.
yeah,
And Spit Out Bone just kicks you in the teeth from beginning to end.
majorly,
So
majorly.
yeah,
Um,
love that
I
tune.
yeah, it's just an album. I don't know what to think about it. I listened
Yeah,
to it a lot when it first came out because everyone was so excited. It's been
yeah,
8 years since we've had Metallica albums, so it
yeah.
was in my lifetime. I think so far it is the most highly anticipated album that I've been a part of with
Mm.
any artist that's come out. Um, Correct me if I'm wrong, but I can't think of anything else that's had the as much anticipation. Um,
Um, when Tool released their album in 2020, that was pretty anticipated because that was the first album in it's over a decade.
yeah, right. Okay.
But even that, it came out, and I was like, hmm,
Hmm.
it was a bit me. It sort of meandered.
Can't really think of
Anyway,
a band that's like waited a long time to release something and it's been like just it's been worth the wait.
very rarely happens.
Yeah.
Weren't we talking about the other week about was it Corona? Coroner,
Oh,
Corona,
Corona, yeah, Corona.
Coroner.
They probably should change their name though to
Yeah,
keep up with modern times. Yeah, Corona.
was
I
it
mean,
them that
who knows?
they've talked about making another album? Was it them?
They are. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, correct. They are releasing one apparently. Let's just say I hope it doesn't follow the trend of what we've had with other bands.
yeah,
Um, we'll see.
yeah.
Um, right, 72 seasons.
Lastly, yeah, 72 seasons. This I would describe this more as a more focused hardwired. Um, but even saying that, it still has its moments of what were they thinking?
Mm,
I feel like whoever's their producer, I swear, is not. It's like too scared to trim it down. They're sort of just going, "Yep, that's great," and it's just like only the members editing themselves. Well, I mean,
yeah,
editing. 'Cause I swear they're not.
I know what you mean. Yeah,
You know, like the shortest song on this is like 5 or 6 minutes. It's like Jesus. And you can even say they did the same thing with this album. They released Lux Eterna, and you're like, oh fuck, back to the thrash, just now, and then that's the only like thrash song.
yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
they did the same thing again.
The only difference
They
with this and Hardwired, though, Lux Eterna and Hardwired, I actually enjoyed Hardwired as a song. I actually don't think Lux Eterna is a good song. That's a
really,
hot take. I
damn, okay.
I don't like it.
I like it, but I'm not gonna
Right.
try to change your opinion.
No,
That's
well,
fair.
yeah. Again, I'm not trying to change yours. Just oh yeah,
Yeah,
I was just let down. I mean, again, another almost 8 year wait, and I feel like they
yeah,
um could have learnt their lesson of being experimental. Like surely they've done everything that they want to do by now.
yeah.
Obviously not.
I don't know.
Um,
It's sort of hard to talk about this album because it's decent, but it's also at the same time it's a modern Metallica album.
yeah,
It
exactly.
exists.
Yep.
I
It's
remember.
actually good because I
Okay. Sorry.
actually haven't really spoken to you about this album properly before, so it's good to actually
No.
talk
Yeah.
about it. Yeah.
It's I think when it first came out, I like the excitement, and I probably listened to it consistently for like a week or two, and then I just sort of got a bit bored.
Right.
I was sort of like, all right, I've had my fun with it. Moving on.
Yeah. Fair enough.
Yeah,
Um, no songs actually stand out. I mean, Lux Eterna stands out because it was the single that was going
yeah.
around for a little bit.
I
Nothing,
really liked
nothing stands out.
the. I would say yeah, Lux Eterna. The opener 72 seasons I really like, and I even like the closer Inamorata. And Chasing Light I also like. The rest is yeah, like it's
Okay.
fine.
Right.
I don't know they're personally the standouts for me, but the rest
Fair
are sort
enough.
of yeah, it's indeed a Metallica song.
Well, yeah.
You know,
Well, again, you've spent more time listening to Metallica. Um,
no.
I don't know. I don't know if it is bias or not. It probably is, but I've just got such bias against the albums I don't like from Metallica. Um, I can't help it because they're such they are such a um an annoying band in the way of why can't you be consistent? They are so
You're
inconsistent as a
saying that.
band. Yeah. I don't know.
I totally agree.
Talking about this album though, I would put it I nothing I mean, I would probably have to give it a few more listens to give it its fair go. But I've listened to it enough. I've listened to this maybe twice or three times all the way through, which
Mm,
isn't much. But still nothing is really standing out for me at the moment. It's
yeah,
samey. It reminds me of the boring things on Hardwired,
yeah.
personally.
I
A few
would
good
put
riffs.
it, yeah, I would put it behind Hardwired. So I'd put it on Base 8
Right.
personally. Because like I don't it's not as bad as say Anger or Load, but it's just like it's just like a slightly blander version of Hardwired
Mm,
for me.
yeah.
Like it
Yeah.
just seems like a Hardwired 2 that's
I know what you mean.
tad less focused.
Without the wow factor of songs like Hardwired or Moth into Flame.
Yeah, Moth of the Flame. Even Atlas Rise, it sounds like a Atlas Rise could honestly be like an Iron Maiden tribute song to
Yeah.
me. Like the harmonies, like the guitar harmonies on that.
Yeah. I
I
know what
remember
you
the
mean.
very first time I heard this, I'm like, this could be a bloody Iron Maiden song, you know?
Which is not
So
I I don't want to hear Metallica that sounds like Iron Maiden.
like
That's
Iron Maiden,
not
yeah, no,
that's not what it's about at all.
yeah,
Um yeah, I agree. I would put it below Hardwired as well, but on
yeah.
the different tier. I would put it above Saint Anger. Actually,
Oh,
I I would prefer to listen to Saint Anger over 72 seasons.
oh shit.
That is a big take. That's a big take.
I don't know if I can agree with that one.
You
I
can't agree with that one.
oh wow,
Um,
that's the hottest thing you've said this whole fucking episode.
if
Wow.
okay, well, I'll take that. Um,
Whoa.
well, I'm happy to split the middle, but that means that it either goes um before Saint Anger. I mean, we can rearrange the order later. Let's just at least put it in the tier that it should be first, and then we'll rearrange after that.
I feel Base 8
Do
personally.
you think it's as good as the Black Album?
Well, do you think Hardwired is good as the Black Album?
Um, well, actually, yes, I do because as we said, there's good and bad for both
Mm,
albums. That's the tier. It's average. My opinion and my take is that 72 Seasons is a bad album. So
mm.
I think I think the bad outweighs the good aspects
mm.
personally. Um,
I would just say it's average.
you would say it's an average album.
But again, that's probably my band bias playing in again. So, like, I think it's fine to me.
Okay, I will.
But
You know what?
again,
Okay, sure. I'll
the,
I'll allow it.
but even then, load. The thing is, I would say anger is it's fine. I could I say that about load? I don't know if I could say that about load because load's like it has a handful of moments that's worthwhile, and the rest it's like don't even bother. Whereas 72 seasons, I think it's at least worth a listen. Down, Chuck. Can you imagine?
I'm finding it really hard to agree, but I won't put my opinion forward ahead of yours for the fact that
I
I haven't
genuinely
listened to it.
it's there needs to be a tier between these two, I feel.
Right. Okay. No, I'll be nice and fair because you have listened to it more than I have. I will drop it there. Um, I think it's a below average album.
Yeah.
But it's fine. I'll leave it there. I do want to have a look at the order of some of these though. I want to swap these. What do you reckon?
I mean, I get it. I get it because Death Magnetic's really good, but I'm also like, let's kill them all, man. Let's kill them all.
It's hard to go like vote against classics like actual.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'll leave that with you. And in my personal list, I would swap those as well, and I also would have that down here and this down here. But we do have to meet in the middle somewhere.
Yeah.
I will agree that Ride the Lightning is arguably their most, I guess you could say liked album. I always hear people saying Ride the Lightning is my favorite Metallica album.
Yeah.
And
it's the
can't
common
really
ones are
disagree.
always Ride or Puppets.
Yeah,
Which
definitely.
they are like amazing albums.
Yeah, majorly.
Back to sort of like I said with Blink, where if someone said to me either the self-titled Enema of the State or Take Off Your Pants, if they came up and said to me one of those three is their favorites, I'd be like, I get it. It's the same with this one where if they named those three, the top three there, I'd be like, I get it. Like, I
Yeah.
don't blame you for having that as your favorite. Even Kill 'Em All. If someone says to me Kill 'Em All, I'd be like, unusual, but I get it. You know.
I get that actually. That's kind of changed my perspective of Ride the Lightning being up there because I agree with that. I mean, yeah.
I've
would
met someone that said
only
their
question
favorite
it.
Metallica is Kill. Sorry.
Oh, really? Have you?
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, again, classics like the raw classic sound. Yeah, I agree. I would question their knowledge of the band if anything below this tier was their favorite.
Yeah.
I know because I'm a teacher, I know a few kids that actually like 72 Seasons the most, which is hard because, and I also get that because that might be why we've got such love for Death Magnetic. That was the most recent album at the time.
Yeah. But also, like, if you listen to both the albums, Death Magnetic's definitely the better album, though.
There's no question about it. I mean, yeah.
Like, if you handed me either Death or 72 Seasons, I wouldn't even think about it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm happy with. I'm roughly happy with how this sits. If it was my own list, it would look very different. But that's not what this is about. This is about meeting in the middle and having split decisions based on opinion. So at least we can agree that Load and Reload are bottom of the.
No, absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah, great. I'm happy.
Do we actually want to bump 72 down? The more I think about it, the more I'm like, I kind of get it.
Really?
Wow.
Okay. I mean, I won't argue that.
I don't know. Could I? Now I'm thinking like, would I rather listen to Saint Anger or so? I don't know. I think I have to think about that. I'm happy to bump down 72, but I'd have to think about
Well, if you've
is
still got to
Saint
think
Anger
about it,
better?
then we won't change it. I
No, I'm just
agree with
thinking
it being changed.
order. Well, I'm happy to bump it down.
Oh, really? What, down to here?
Yeah, yeah. The more I think about it,
Let's
I'm like,
let's split
yeah,
let's split the middle then, because you
yeah,
originally had it up here. I had it below Saint Anger. So okay, let's
yeah.
split the middle and put it there.
The only thing I'm like, I'd rather listen to 72 is just the production. Like, I will give the album sounds good,
Oh, of course it does. I mean,
you know.
it would
So
be insulting if it didn't at least sound good.
yeah, so I'm more thinking that to
Yeah,
um differentiate that and anger. So
that makes sense. That makes sense. I'm happy to call it there
yeah,
though. I think we've
yeah,
done well. Every tier list is going to look different for everybody. I know that some people
yeah,
watching would have a different, but
yeah.
I'm I'm happy.
I'm pretty happy with that actually.
Yeah,
That actually went smoother than I was expecting.
yeah. I mean, I feel like we could have been holding back a little bit with some of our strong
Yeah.
opinions, but
Oh, I didn't hold back with Reload. Fuck that album. It's utter shit. It's so bad.
it's hard because that is how I feel about Load as well. But
Yeah.
it's all right. I mean, it's still. I'm not complaining because it is still the second worst album on our
Yeah.
list, so that's fine.
Yeah.
Perfect, great. I'm happy. Shall we call it there?
Absolutely.
Rightio.
Excellent.
Well, let us know if you are angry at us or if you are not. And we really enjoyed the tier list, so I think we will definitely do this
Yeah.
again for
Do a few more. Absolutely.
for something else.
We just have to work out which band though.
I've got a couple
Yeah.
in mind. Yeah.
Talk about that off air.
Yes, we shall.
Yeah, absolutely.
Rightio. So I guess we'll see you guys in the next one. Thank you,
Hell
Matthew.
yeah.
Sorry for any controversy.
No. You're right.
And is it too soon
Sorry.
to talk about the bus driver, or it's not? Is it?
Not it's nearly 40 years ago, bro.
Yeah, it's fine. Yeah.
It just caught me so off guard. Oh fuck, it was so good. I just was not ready for that.
I was just thinking, what is trashed here in the Metallica world? That's not
Metallica
like,
world.
yeah. I mean, it's not. Oh, Lars is drumming. I mean,
Yeah, that's
it's
so
more.
easy.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Perfect. Great. Let's keep it
Oh,
there. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Matt.
yeah. Thank you, Jordan. Thanks for watching / listening, and see you in the next episode.
Au revoir. So we've been playing around, and we thought we might just add on our individual tier rankings. This would be mine. Matt said he's only had strong opinions about these two.
Yeah.
I can understand why he would say that. But that would be my perfect tier ranking.
And then yeah, this would be how I personally rank mine as well. Yeah.
Not too far off what we had.
Yeah.
Just with Justice, you mentioned because of the production value.
Yeah. Although actually, hang on, I probably would actually have 72 above Sanger, actually.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Nice little edit halfway through then. Oh well.
Yeah. There we go. But yeah. I'd probably do that.
Cool.